Alright, hello, welcome to Writing Polynomials-1. This is the worksheet we're working on. See if I can get this circled. Oh, it won't go that high. Anyway, there's a title right up there that says Polynomials-1. So this should say -1 on here. I need to go back and add that. I'm going to work through number 1 first as an example. And what we're doing is we're writing the polynomial function based on the zeros that we are given, or the roots that we are given. So we've worked from a polynomial down to the roots, solving for x. Now we're taking what we've got and working backwards. This says that I have x equals -1, x equals 3, and x equals -2. What I need to do then is set this up so that I have x plus 1 equals 0. Oh, wow, bad handwriting. If I subtract 3 here, then that gives me x minus 3 equals 0. And for this one, adding 2 to both sides, I get x plus 2 equals 0. So I have x plus 1. I have x minus 3 and x plus 2. So now these are the factors. And what I need to do now is multiply those two together, and the product of that, multiply it by that one. So what does that look like? I have x plus 1 times x plus 2. So x times x is x squared. X times 2 is plus 2x. 1 times x is x, and 1 times 2 is 2. So that gives me x squared plus 3x plus 2. I now need to multiply that by x plus 2, which was that one or this one. So now x times x squared is x cubed. X times 3x is plus 3x squared. And x times 2 is plus 2x. Then 2 times x squared is 2x squared. Notice I align my squares. And then 2 times 3x is plus 6x. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Now add those up and get x cubed plus 5x squared plus 8x plus 4. That is my polynomial written from the roots. If I scroll down, and I'm going to look at number 7 now. So this says, I'm going to write this above it, x equals 5, x equals positive 2 root 2, x equals negative 2 root 2. Remember, our square roots and our imaginary numbers always come in pairs of plus and minus. So I know I have a positive root, also I'm going to have a negative root. So subtracting 5, I get x minus 5 equals 0. For this one, if I subtract 2 root 2, I get x minus 2 root 2 equals 0. And if I add 2 root 2, I have x equals, let's erase that. Where'd my eraser go? Not equals. And let's go back to drawing. I have x plus 2 root 2 equals 0. Now I need to multiply those together. I'm going to start with the radicals, the 2 root 2's. So I have x minus 2 root 2 times x plus 2 root 2. I have x times x is x squared. X times 2 root 2 is a positive 2 root 2 times x. And then negative 2 root 2 times x is minus 2 root 2 times x. and then negative 2 root 2 times positive 2 root 2. Oh goodness, 2 times 2 is 4. And I'm sorry, that should be negative. Negative times a positive. And then root 2 times root 2 is 2. So this becomes positive and a negative. Those actually cancel out to 0. I'm left with x squared minus 8. And now I multiply that by x minus 5. I think you can handle multiplying binomials together. Just remember this is an x squared, not just an x. I'm going to go on down to number 13. I'll change colors. I'm getting tired of looking at purplish pink. 13. So this is x equals 3, x equals negative I, and x equals positive I. Subtracting 3, I get x minus 3 equals 0. Adding I, I get x plus I equals 0. And subtracting I, I get x minus I equals 0. Now, again, I'm going to start with the i's and multiply those together first. So I have x plus I and x minus I. X times x is x squared. X times minus I is negative ix. Positive I times x is positive ix, or xi. It's not going to matter in the end. Then minus I squared. Positive times a negative is a negative, and then I times I is I squared. Remember that I squared is the same thing as negative 1. So I have a negative times a negative, which makes a positive. The negative ix and the positive ix again cancel out to 0. So we have x squared plus 1. Sorry, that should have been made positive as well. Now I can multiply x squared plus 1 times x minus 3. Again, I think you can do the binomial multiplication here. I'm going to leave that one go to keep this video as short as possible. You have problems 1 through 4, 5, 6, sorry, I should have done 1 through 6, 12, 14, 19, and 20, and this is in the instructions in Schoology. All you are doing is writing the polynomial. Once you've done that, you're done. So good luck and happy Friday.